index. This is what we would like our index to be titled as. Let's scroll down. So we have the index as back index, and of course it is in typeset in one column. Now let's insert table of contents. So I'll just add some random sections first. So section Arduino, another section called project, let's just be happy with this and we'll write slash table of contents. Let's build and run. So yes, we do have table of contents displayed over here with sections and project. Now we will display the entry back index also in the table of contents, and to do that we would write E&TC in this box bracket of index, which instructs LaTex to insert the index entry into the table of contents. So now build and run it. Yes, we have back index and the page number into our table of contents. So now let's move ahead. Well, presentation. Now generally whichever conference or journal you would want to write, or you want to present your ideas in front of somebody, so you would need to prepare a presentation. You would not be just sharing a document. So what we would be doing is we would be going through the Beamer document class, which is used to create a presentation. And to get started, let's go to Text Studio. I'll create a new file and I will save it as 3.tech. So let's create a document class, and it has the title of the document class is Beamer, followed by our regular begin document and end document environment. Now you can consider that basically when we are designing PowerPoint slides or some sort of slides, we have multiple slides. Now you can consider slide is a frame. So instead of addressing each slide, we will address it as each frame in terms of the Beamer lingo. So we would write each frame is denoted by slash begin frame and slash end frame, followed by some content. Let's build and run and see what happens. So we have one frame with the word content in it. Let's add one more. So we write slash begin frame. So we add another frame to it, and let's make it as content 1. Let's build and run it. So now we have another frame called content 1. Let's add a title to it. So generally all of the frames have, let's add a title. Title is added just after the begin frame environment starts in curly brace. So let's say over here we write the title as welcome, and instead of content 1 we write welcome everyone. Let's build and run. So we have a frame or a slide having a title welcome and then the content welcome everyone. Now whatever you do in Beamer is nothing but LaTeX commands: inserting figures, inserting tables, itemize environment, creating columns, anything. Whatever you do, whatever you have done in the document class, article, book, report, etc., You can do everything in Beamer with the same set of commands. The syntax is the same. You don't have to change the syntax while using Beamer. So let's go ahead and let's create another frame, sorry. So slash begin frame, and let's call this frame as title as introduction, and let's add some bulleted points. So the environment to do that is slash begin itemize. Let's say instead of introduction, let's call it animals, and we will list the name of animals over here. Let's say dog, cat, cow. All right, just 3. Let's build and run it. So we have animals followed by the itemized environment called dog, cat, and cow. Now let's do something with the first frame. Now if you see, even my first frame had a title slide. Basically the title of my lecture, the name of the author, maybe the name of the institution, all those things. So how would you do that? You do that by first writing commands like slash title, which you would have already seen. So let's say the title of this talk is figures, subfigures, index, just let it remain till here. Author name, so the author name is Firuza. Okay, and let's say I would like to include a date, so the command is slash date, and let's say we print today's date, so we write slash today. Now in the very first frame, we want to insert all of these things, title, author, and date. So how would we do that? By writing the slash make title command. Let's build and run it. So if you see, our first frame has the title, name of the author, and date. So this is how our first frame has been created. Now, though we have created these 3 frames, but it looks very naive. Let's make it a bit more attractive. So there are 2 ways you can make it there's a way where you can make it attractive by writing the theme and the color theme. So the command to write a theme is slash use theme, and then the name of the theme, and then finally slash use color theme and the name of the color theme. But I really do not know the name of the theme and color themes. So let's go to Google and find out. So I'll Google a query called Beamer Theme Matrix. It would give you some links. You can refer to the first or the second link, which is Heartwork or mpetrof link, which I have opened up in a new tab. So what you see is a matrix over here. So the ones which are appearing here, default, Ann Arbor, Antibes, Bergen, Berkeley, all of these are themes. If you scroll down, there are multiple themes. And now, if you scroll on the right, the one which appears here, default, albatross, beaver, beetle, crane, these are all color themes. So you can choose, say you want Ann Arbor theme and you want crane color theme, or you want Cambridge US theme and you want Monarcha color theme. So you can choose a combination of theme and a color theme to style your presentation. So let's go ahead and see some themes and color themes. So over here, instead of Beamer theme, I'll write the name of the theme. So let me use ANNARBOR, and then the color theme I'll write as crane. Now let's build and run it and see what happens. So as you can see, our slides are now a bit more attractive with this yellow color. There's a background here. Even the title slide is appearing here. There's a footer here. Firuza Karmali, the title, the date, and the number of slides, 1 of 3. This is 2 of 3, and finally 3 of 3. As you can see, all the slides have this yellow color. Let's choose a different theme now. So instead of Ann Arbor, let's try Berkeley, Berkeley. And instead of a crane color theme, let's go ahead with this crane color theme. So now this is the Berkeley style and the crane color, which is the yellow color. Let's change this to default. So the default one would be, I guess, blue. So yes, so now we have blue. And now let's go ahead and change this Berkeley to Madrid. So now we have a theme called Madrid with the default color theme. Now, if you see over here, even in this, we have a combination of, maybe green, yellow, and blue, and gray. We do not have some attractive colors. You may want to add some more colors to it. So instead of this blue color, let's say we want to have a violet color. So we would need to write one more command, /set beamer color. In the first curly brace, we write structure, that is, we want to change the entire color theme. And then in the next curly brace, we write FG is equal to violet. That is the name of the color. Now let's build and run it. So if you see, now the entire colors have changed. If you see, this one is dark, followed by less dark, followed by the footer, I mean this. If you also see, the bullets have also changed to violet. Let's change this color to say red. So of course red is quite shocking, but the itemized bullets have also changed to red. Let's revert it back to violet. Let's build and run it. Okay. So now we have a beamer color theme of violet. We are using theme Madrid, default color theme, and we have changed the color theme to violet. Well, now let's add table of contents. As we usually add table of contents to our document, let's add table of contents even to our frames, even to our beamer slides. So let's insert /begin frame, and the title of the frame should be outline. We'll end the frame and we will insert the table of contents command. Now for table of contents command to work, we would need sections, subsections, etc. So we would write sections just before the frame begins. So let's say we write section animal. Let's say we have another frame over here. So I'll just copy this entire one. Command C, Command V. Let's indent it. Let's paste it again. Okay. So we have animals. Let's now call it birds. Instead of dog, let's say parrot, crow. Let's just remove it. Don't want to waste too much time. Yeah, the title of the frame also should change accordingly. And let's say over here we have colors. The title of the frame is color, and let's say we have red, blue. Let's build and run it. So we have the frame colors. Then we have the frame called birds. Then of course we have the frame called animals, followed by the outline, which is currently empty because we need to build and run twice. And now we have the outline, animal, birds and color. And if you click on it, you would go to that particular frame as well. So I'm clicking on birds. Oops, the spelling is wrong anyway. If I click on it, I land on this particular slide frame. So this is how one inserts table of contents or basically outline in Beamer. Okay, so as stated earlier, all the LaTeX commands remain the same, whether we want to include image, table, itemize, insert itemize environment or enumerate environment. But there's one more addition to it. We can insert blocks and we can divide content into multiple columns. So here the syntax would be slightly different. Where would you use blocks? Suppose you want to, write do's and don'ts, or you want to emphasize a particular point, you may want to have a block. So let's insert a block. So in this color frame, I'll insert a block. So I'll just remove this itemize environment and I will write /begin block, the title of the block. Let's say the title of the block is information. And then let's write hello all. We are learning colors. And in this now we is anybody trying to say something? Hello. Is anybody trying to say something? Okay, I think I'll just proceed ahead. So hello all, we are learning colors and we'll have the item as environment over here. Let's build and run it. So now we have a block called information and some text and then the itemized environment containing 2 points red and blue. There's another way wherein we can add an alert block. So instead of just block, we write alert block. Now alert block is used to give some important information or to basically alert somebody or to tell somebody that pay attention to this particular block. So that's why it is red in color. And so if I build it, if you see, the block is now an alert block having a red color. Okay. Now let's say we want two blocks. One is an alert block and one is a basic block. So let's just copy this. Begin alert block, copy. And just paste it here for better readability. Alright, and now instead of this alert block, I'll just write block. So now we have two blocks. One is an alert block and one is the basic block. Now we are occupying too much of vertical space on this particular frame. We would like it to be divided into two columns, left information and right, left the alert block and right the basic block. So how would we do that? By defining an environment called columns. So /begin columns. And then we end our column after the alert block, after both the blocks end. So slash end columns. All right. Let's just indent this again. Now we want our first column to begin. So the syntax is slash column and now the column width. So you can specify the column width in inches, but you can also specify the column in percentage of the text width. How we specify the image width for a subfigure. Similarly, we can do over here. So we want both of them to occupy equal horizontal size on this particular frame. So we would write 0.45 of the text width. So this is a first column followed by the block and the second column followed by this basic block. Now let's build and run it. So now we have both the blocks in two different columns. Let's say tomorrow we want to add a third block. We would just have to, adjust this text width so that all the three blocks fit on the same line. Even inserting an image is the same. So let's say if I want to insert an image on this particular frame, or let's say instead of this, this one, we'll insert an image. So I'll just comment it out. So percentage denotes that this entire content is commented and it will not be interpreted by LaTex. And I'll write the include graphics command. However, I'll first need to include the graphics package. Oops. Use package graphics followed by slash include graphics in box bracket, say width is equal to 2 inches and then images slash lcd.png. So now we have a block and in the first column we have a block and in the second column we have our image. So this looks quite neat. You may want to have some information for this particular image, etc. Okay, now let's say that we want, if our title is too big, let's increase our title size. So let's say we have our title as figures, subfigures, index, creating presentation, followed by drawing using TIKZ. Let's build and run it. So our title has nicely appeared over here. However, if you look at the footer, we have figures, subfigures, index, creating presentation, and it's getting cut because it's too large. So we can also give an alias. So over here, instead of title and the curly brace, we would give an alias in box bracket. So the footer will be picked up from the alias which is present in the box bracket. So now over here we can say figures, index, and Bima and TIKZ. So now if you see our title is big, which is a different one, and the footer, and the footer is figure, index, beamer, and TIKZ. So the alias is picked up and put up in the footer. Similarly, instead of displaying the first and last name, we may want to display the first name of multiple authors. So for example, instead of over here, we have multiple authors. Let's say we have 2 authors over here, which is Firuza Karmali, Nagesh Karmali, and we don't want it to appear here in this fashion. So we would give an alias by writing Firuza, Nagesh. Let's build and run it. And now the alias is picked up and put it up in the footer. Let's say we want to include our institute name. So the institute name is included by writing / institute command. Again, we can give an alias and the big name. So let's say we write M.E.S. College of Engineering, Pune, and short we just give it M.E.S. Let's build and run it. So now the institute name has appeared here, M.E.S. College of Engineering, Pune, and in the footer, in the round brackets, M.E.S., the alias has appeared. So this is how you add alias and an institute name to your title slide. Well, we may also like to include a logo. So generally you would like to include your institute logo on every page, or some sort of a logo. So you can do that by writing the logo command. You write / logo. Logo can be even a text. However, let's include. So we would write / include graphics, and then the file name, which is images / now I do not have a logo currently right now with me, but I'll just write / lcd.png. Logos are usually small, so I'll just write width is equal to 0.5 inches, and I should be including the graphics package before defining logo, else it might throw an error because it won't understand using of the include graphics command. Let's build and run it. So now over here we have the logo as well. So it appears on every page. So it would look nice if you have your institute logo or some sort of a logo on every frame. Okay, let's go ahead. So go back to the slides. So yes, we had a look. We created a basic presentation. We added themes and colors. Oops, there's a spelling mistake here. Sorry for it. We had blocks and columns. Yes, we need to add simple animation. We included our institute and displayed the logo. So let's go back and include some basic slide. So this is how our presentation looks like. It's quite neat. Now let's include animation. So just close it. And now we're here. If you want the points to appear one by one, so you would write a command called pause. Let's add a few more items. Let's build and run it. And now let's see what happens in the presentation. Let's view it. So dog, cat, cow, and horse. If I move up with my up arrow key, they disappear, and now if I move ahead with my down arrow key, that is I advance to the next next frame. Basically now cat appears, and then cow, and then horse. So how is this achieved? Well, basically there's no animation per se, but different frames are created, and the text is written exactly at that position, which gives you a feeling of an animation. So there's no animation which is happening. It's just That dog is added on frame number 1, then cat is got added on frame number 2, then on frame number 3 cow, and then finally frame number 4 horse. And this is how animation is kind of achieved in Beamer. You can do this animation for displaying question, and then you don't want to display an answer to your students, so you just add a pause after the particular question. And there is more to it, wherein you can have even this kind of animation in tables as well, in images as well. You just need to add this pause command. So yes, let's move ahead to the slides and just close this. Yes, so we achieved simple animation as well. Now let's move ahead to the final topic of this session, which is TIKZ. TIKZ is used for drawing graphics by writing text commands. The commands that we have written till now, however, there would be different set of commands. The images which are produced in PDF. Excuse me. The images that are produced in PDF and PostScript format. TIKZ and PGF has an extensive documentation. The documentation is around 600 pages, 1000 pages. There are plethora of examples. TIKZ also has a bunch of libraries for making it easier. But today we will be covering only the basics. So let's reach Text Studio and we will examine all of these. So I'll create a new file. I'll save it as 4.tech. Is requesting, somebody is requesting here. Requesting control. No, I think you pressed some button. So could you please revoke it? Mr. Kharat Nitin Ramesh. I don't think you need control of my desktop. Thank you. Okay, thank you. Yes, so let's go ahead and let's first create document class article / begin document. Let's build and run it. Okay, so we have a basic word called content over here. Now to include TIKZ, we need to include the package, which is /use package TIKZ. Now whatever you draw, you need to draw in between the TIKZ picture environment. So /begin TIKZ picture. Now to start with, let us draw two lines. How the two lines should be drawn? One, the line should start from 0, 0 and it should end at 4, 0, and other line should start at 0, 0 and end at 6, 0. Let's see what 0, 0 and all these coordinates mean. If you actually imagine your basic mathematics class, wherein you have the different quadrants, the x quadrant, and where you have the x-axis and y-axis, it is similar to that. So let's say we draw a line. So we write /draw starting coordinate x and y, which is x is 0, y is 0. We want a line till 4, 4. Let's just draw one line and see what happens. Let's build and run it. Yes, also it has to end in a semicolon. So the semicolon is important after every statement inside the TIKZ environment. Now if you see, we have a line 0, 0. This is a starting point. And yes, please. Hello.
तुम्ही कोणत्या गेला
anyone having a okay, I think I'll just move ahead.
त्या अनुषंगानेच चालू ना मीटिंग चालू आहे.
Is it possible to mute?
Participants, please check your mic. Sorry, ma'am. Participants, please check your mic.
हो बरोबर आहे पण तुम्हाला
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, thank you. Yes, so we have, yeah, so the starting point is 0, 0. So it starts from here. Now, if you see, this will be the x-axis and vertical would be the y-axis. So 4 comes here. That is 4, 4. That is x is 4 and y is 4. Now let's add another line which goes from 0, 0. So we write draw 0, 0 and it goes to 6, 0. So that means it is a horizontal line, just the x has increased and y is at 0 itself. So let's build and run. So now if you see, we have another line here starting at 0, 0 and ending at 6, 0. Whereas this is starting at 0, 0 and this is ending at 4, 4. So now let's go ahead and increase the thickness or vary the thickness of these lines. So the thickness can be written in between the box brackets of this draw command. Thickness includes ultra thin, very thin, thin, thick, very thick and ultra thick. So let's write ultra thick. Let's build and run it. So if you see, this line is now having a thickness of ultra thick. Let's change this to very thin. So now it has become more thinner. Okay, let's change it to very thick just so that we can see it. Okay, so then this one is ultra thick and this one is very thick. Now let's change the colors of these two lines. So instead of writing, after writing ultra thick, we write a comma and we put the color red. And for this one, let's say we have blue. Let's build and run it. So now this particular line is red and this particular line is blue. Now let's say we want to add arrows at the end of this line and at the end of this line. So we would write an arrow by writing comma and then hyphen and greater than sign. So that means there is a comma, that means there is a line starting with 0, 0, ending at 6, 0. There is no arrow at 0, 0. There is a arrow at 6, 0. So let's just first write slash and greater than. Let's build and run it. So now we have arrows here and we have arrow here. Let's see what happens if we write over here as well. So that means there would be an arrow over here as well. So this is a starting coordinate arrow, then the line followed by the ending coordinate arrow. Let's build and run. So now we have an arrow here as well. Okay. Let's just copy this, paste it, and remove the arrows. All right. Okay. Let's make this also as ultra thick. And let's add some spacing in between these two images. So this adds a V space 20 points. Okay. So now if you see this picture and this picture, for this particular picture 0, 0 starts from here, and even for this picture 0, 0 starts from here. So basically your entire TIKZ picture starts at 0, 0 and ends at n, n. So you can consider it as multiple TIKZ pictures having multiple coordinates. So the coordinates are with respect to each TIKZ picture and they do not overlap. Okay. Now let's draw another line over here. So we would write draw